Alright, we are back for round 2. Hopefully my opponent will be a little bit more reactive this game because last match was slightly boring. On the draw with a good keeper. Kinda like the synergy between Implement, Trumpeter and potentially Fatal Push too, which is nice. My opponent rolled to 5 and put the card on top, which is unlucky obviously. Our VI is gonna die right away. Our VI is just dying. It's just I don't want to play against that. I don't want to let them untap and potentially have a what's the name of that card? A blossoming defense and be able to steal the game with that card because I don't find a reinvol. All right. Should I? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you the story behind me getting this, but that was that was something. Either way, we'll be attacking with Bandar and dropping a Trumpeter here. Yeah, 9 boosters. All right, that's funny. That's funny. Aether Herder. Alright. We're definitely moving 1 here. This way if we draw land we can hunt the weak on the Herder. And also whether we implement or not, this is gonna go bigger. That sounds like a pretty good move to make. We draw land, which is great. We can just get rid of that, swing in for 5. And since the opponent mulligan to 5 on the play and we have a good tempo advantage now, it's looking extremely grim for them because obviously if you are down on cards, down on tempo, that's not exactly where you want to be. I don't think I want to move anything here. Just gonna implement on the Bandar and attack. I think it's fine. If they end up having a reinvol, just attacking and then potentially dropping cavalry is better. If they have nothing, which I feel is something potential, they do have something, alright. I'm pretty happy with the play I made then, I think. Another move is to not implement, so you can potentially make that bigger. But by implementing now, I still get some counters because of Trumpeters. I think it's probably advantageous enough to do. Malfeast Revolutionary. Alright. Getting some more energy. So we'll be moving, I think, both counters. My opponent has no cards in hand and they have no good block if I move 2 counters, so this sounds like a solid move to make. And now the Trumpeter is lethal and I'm just gonna drop a 4/4. And pass a turn. And I doubt they have any outs there. Well, if they come back, then GG. I'd be surprised though. Would be pretty surprised. So they must block the Trumpeter with the servo. I think I kinda like the idea of dropping the guide, making this not blockable by servos and swing. Alright, that was pretty much just my open mulligan to 5 and getting destroyed. Not the funniest game, but looks like they have a very solid blue-green deck with energy and whatnot. Given what I saw, I don't think I want to change anything. I guess Elite is decent against Swooper. He's actually better against Swooper than High Spire Artisan because you can they cannot attack. Where if they have a bunch of energy, they can continue to attack with super and make 1/1s. Or if they assemble the combo with what's the name of the card? Era of Innovation. If you have Innovation plus another creature, you can just make a 1/1 for 1 mana each turn. So I think Elite might be better than Artisan in this matchup. Other than that, I don't think there's anything I want to change. So I'm just gonna put an Elite over the Artisan and submit, and hopefully we'll have a slightly better game. Hand is amazing. Not gonna lie, I cannot really ask for a better hand. Alright. Well, that's familiar. The sequence sounds familiar. Rid of the coal, alright. By the way, I kept Appetite despite not seeing many artifact or enchantment because I just don't know what's in my open deck, so. And they could very well have something like Freighter, or there could be a decent amount of threatening things. If I don't see any other artifact or enchantment in this game and we go to game 3, I might just side it out though. Will not be moving counters around. No Fangs. Drawing a black is not the worst. I mean, I would have rather drawn a non-land, but at least Swamp is not the worst. I just need another creature, and then I can move my Bandars counters and trigger the Revolt, which is pretty much my goal right now. I could see a deck like my open deck having having Era of Innovation in it, which would make the Appetite pretty good. Well, I can obviously move counters here and then kill the other creature. It would not be very good though. So I guess the plan is drop this as a 4/4. Or at 3/3. No, I still rather have a 4/4 this way. If they have nothing, they have no good attack. If they do have a bounce spell or removal, it's slightly worse because I lose a servo. But they could have nothing, in which case just making them unable to attack is much better. It feels like they probably have something, but feel we are still in a spot where we can afford to play it as a 4/4 and hope they have nothing, and if they have something, well, it's not the end of the world. We don't just die. I'm not gonna move counters right now. The thing is, it looks like they don't have the Rainfall, but if they end up top decking it, it's pretty bad. And it's pretty much putting all my eggs in the same basket, which I just don't really like. My album might be a little bit flooded here, because I cannot really think they had nothing to play with 6 mana last turn, so it kind of feels like they might have a couple lands in hand. Lifecraft Cavalry. Don't care a lot about that one. Looks like they don't have the removal. I'm gonna move the counters around so I can use my Rebel. This seems like a decent move to make and get rid of. It's interesting. I think the Herder is slightly better though than the Revolutionary, as it can randomly get a 1/1. And next turn, if my opponent still has nothing, we can hunt the weak on the Cavalry. They might just trade here though. They bounce, okay, that's good to know. And they put a girl on the bottom of their library. If they attack with cavalry, I think I'm just taking it so I can hunt the weak. Alright, that's pretty interesting. Just gonna block here. Yeah, if we trade, I'm happy enough. Could double block on the cavalry, and then, well, if they have +3/+3, I'll lose both creature. They must have drawn a pump spell here. I think I'm happy enough just taking 5, trading here. If they want to use a pump spell, fine. If they don't, fine. If it was a bluff, well, I guess that's good for them, but that seems like a very bold and unnecessary bluff. They have another cavalry. Okay, that's the reason they made this play. I did not really expect that, not gonna lie. I did not thought about the cavalry. I mostly thought about the pump spell, because I don't think that losing a 3/3 to make this a 6/6 instead of a 4/4 is a good move, but I guess that's the move they choose to make. Gonna do that while they're tapped out. And pass the turn. They might also have, both the Revolt card and the pump spell in hand. Which makes me pretty unhappy about blocking and pumping here. On the other hand, this is a 2-turn clock, so I kinda just, take 6. I'll have to block at some point no matter what. Otherwise, it's just gonna kill me. So, yeah, they did have the pump spell too. Alright. That's interesting. To me, it felt like they did not have it, but looks like they had it. I mean, I guess then the right move was probably to double block and then use my own pump spell. Would have been safer. I'm just drawing more and more big creatures is quite annoying though, and it looks like they have absolutely no targets for appetite, which is looking quite disgustingly bad here. Would be in a better spot here if I had made the safer play of taking 6 and then double blocking. Here, if they pump, I'm just dead. Yeah, they did, and that's gonna be game. I guess I can appetite my own servo. And then I'm still dead because I take 6 plus 1 of trample here. So then no matter what, even if I kill my own servo. Alright, well, appetite is going out of the deck. And alright. Well, I'm pretty sure I just misplayed here. My opponent did not have a ton of cards available though. I don't know, it was kind of a close call, I think. Pretty sure my play is not the right play, but I'm pretty sure it's not super obvious and a huge misplay to go for that move. Since they showed a reason why they had made this aggressive attack last turn by playing the cavalry with Revolt, I kinda assumed they did not have a pump spell and just made a poor play, but I probably should have assumed that they had something else, I guess. Alright, we'll be beating down here. If we trade, I'm happy. If we don't trade, I'm happy. Either way, I'm gonna get to trigger Revolt for my elite at some point of the implement. And I guess I'm just gonna drop an artisan here. My opponent it looks like my opponent has a bunch of really fat creatures though, which I might have trouble dealing with. Rid of the coal, sure. So I guess we'll be boosting the Poisoner. And drawing another implement is not bad. Means we can make that Cavalry a 6/6 if we want. My opponent has no good blocks, obviously. Now I can just get my free 2/2, which is not the worst. Treasure Keeper was a good top deck. Next turn I can go implement Treasure Keeper and keep the pressure up. As a Stream Leopard, I don't really care about that one. If that is the best thing they can do for 6 mana, I'm happy. They could also be keeping some type of counter available, I guess. Select for inspection. I'm pretty happy about that actually, because I feel like having a counter on that creature doesn't do a ton for me, and getting some more energy and the possibility to make another servo later on actually does things for me. Oh well, I'll take the trade. I haven't been drawing a lot of lands, which is great. Like, I'm just 5 lands, cycling cards, getting a bit of value of cards like Silkweaver Elite or Keeper, and just, you know, generating a decent amount of card advantage slowly, but, you know, efficiently. My opponent doesn't have any great attack here. If they want to trade a pump spell for my Keeper, I'm happy enough. Probably don't want to pump the Keeper. I'd rather pump the Elite so it can trade with one of their creature. But I'm gonna attack first and see what they want to do. Alright, I'm fine trading that for a Leopard. Oh, that's not a bad one. That's the one I'm gonna put counters on. Alright, sweet. Yeah, I don't have any reason not to do it now. This way, if I draw something better than Cavalry, I can cast it. I kind of doubt I will, but who knows. Kind of feel like my opponent has a counterspell, which feels weird, but this is how it feels to me. It feels that like they have Metallic Rebuke. Looks like they don't. Alright. Well, leaving the dust is fine, though. As we'll get to trigger that revolt pretty soon anyways. And my opponent might just be quite flooded here. And now, well, unless they have another bounce spell, they really have no good block for the Aetherborn. And I'm getting 6/6 end of turn. So, tough spot for them. We've been drawing really well. They seem just quite flooded, which sometimes happens when you are playing a lot of mana accelerants. But yeah, I guess we dropped 7 lands. They probably have 2 lands in hand, so they drew more lands definitely. But them having some pretty useless 2-drop is certainly the thing that hurts them the most here. So I guess they can double block on Aetherborn. I'm fine trading these with 2 of their creature, though. If I attack with everything, they can triple block on the Cavalry, and I'm trading Cavalry for Revolutionary, though. Which is not amazing. But I don't really mind that. I mean, looks like my opponent's out of gas. I'm in a spot where I can just afford to go aggressive, make some trade even though they are not amazing, and drop some more creature to apply pressure. Whatever they do here, one of my creatures is gonna survive, and it's not gonna be great for them. Also, by doing that, I get to Vengeful Rebel something. Here they get counters, but doesn't really matter. And now we can just go Rebel your Druid. And we are playing as blue-green, so they cannot have Wrath of God, obviously. Or Yahini's expertise or whatnot. And we can just dump our hand. And here we have really a ton of pressure. Yeah, looks like my opponent has mostly been drawing poorly this game. Not a ton they can do or could have done about that. I don't really think I'm gonna move anything anywhere. I could move all the counters on the servo though. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, it's fine. If I hunt the weak, I kill them. But they are dead if they have nothing anyways, so... And if they have something, and like a bounce spell, and I hunt the weak and they bounce my thing in response, it's just awful, so... Looks like they just conceded though. Yeah, my opponent probably got super flooded here, which isn't lucky for them, lucky for us, it happens, it's the game. But we got there. Hope you guys enjoyed that second round. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you did enjoy, and see you for the final.